Hey guys, so I don't know why my heart is like heavy and literally spastic. I keep hearing these weird shit sounds coming from outside of like super weird vibrations is a thing. I know it sounds crazy whenever I talk about it, but whatever. I'm just gonna tell it like it is in here. First, my heater goes out, and I was promised to have it fixed by yesterday. So I go off to the grocery store to go get me some food for like whenever I end my fast, and I come back and it's not fixed, although I have it promised on paper that it would have been fixed. I'm kind of upset about that, but either way, I keep hearing this. It's like a weird purr, and it sounds mechanical, but it's not. I don't know where it's coming from. I want to say I've never heard it before, but it was like maybe a couple of days ago it started, but then it's incessant. It goes on all day, all night. There's nothing else that could possibly be. I was thinking maybe it's the washer and dryers downstairs, but no, they're not. No one's in the washing room right now. I spent a lot of my morning on Winovo, and then I went to learning German, and I'm in the middle of fast, and I was reminded because I was watching Jerry Flowers, and I was told to lean into where the most discomfort comes up whenever you are fasting and stuff, and like where is all the resistance coming from. And I realized like a lot of my resistance is with the church and stuff, and because of like how badly I was burned in both the Christian and the Catholic, not heresies, but churches, and something is telling me to just go ahead and go up there and see what see what's what, since there's no meetings today with my team, and I'm also trying to get the thing that I paid for is what it is with this training thing that I've been on. I was promised something that I purchased, and I'm not getting it, and I'm kind of ticked that with my heater and stuff being busted completely, I was like, whoa, I'm about to get sick. Like, what the hell, guys? There's nothing I can do about it, so I'm gonna call. I guess I'll call the head, because I'm buddies with one of the head honchos up here, and I'll be like, yo, what the fuck? Because it's not cool. And like, I my immunity is already shot, and like if I keep going through these wicked shit, heat and cold phases, then I'm gonna get sick, and I'm gonna be pretty pissed off if that happens. So with that, I've been following Jerry Flowers a lot and like reading the Bible a lot, and I just have like this weird unnerving feeling, especially with this going on outside, and I don't know what it is. I went like searching for the noise, and there's nothing. I don't know what it is, to be honest with you. And then whenever I start these videos, it stops, which is really fucking weird. So it's a gray day. I'm looking at a blue building, of course, but this is just really weird. Hey, I'm a gamer. How you doing? Hey, 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 Mahaver, Kagar. Well, I am like really freaking out because the last time I went to this church, the priest told me that a brutal assault was my fault. Whenever I confessed the sin of being angry with the guy, I didn't know him was a thing. I just wanted to be a kind person and like let him have a shower because he was homeless. And I told the priest about it, and he's like, "Yeah, well, first you have to accept responsibility for your part in this." And I was like, "What?" Anywho, and then like I stopped going to church, and then my sponsor, because apparently the Catholic faith, you need to have a sponsor. The woman that chose me to sponsor me, we had been hanging out for maybe a year or so, and she's like, "When are you going to come back to the church?" And I was like, "Well, is that all that you really befriended me for?" And she's like, "Yeah." And that was kind of crushing to me because she was my first friend, I thought, and it turned out to be a lie, and So I started fasting the day before last, and because I know that I need to be doing something, but I'm not sure what it is yet. And especially something with its heartbreak. So I was thinking, like, my most resistance is with the church, and it is with the people of it. So to lean into the resistance, because on the other side of resistance is the blessing. And since Winolo isn't really working out for me, I'm going to go ahead and just do that. Well, I guess finish the Winolo hour-long application thing, and I kind of want to go to it at 5 o'clock because I know that that's when she usually shows up there. But at the same time, I don't know if I really want to see her, because, but at the other same time, like, I go big or go home, and this would probably be the biggest event. And so maybe I'll go to the gym, because I kind of have resistance on that too. And so I'm definitely gonna mop my floor. My my Advent, I think it's day 6 of my Advent, and I realized that I need to lean into the resistance of whatever is like more noisy with my heart, within my heart, that I can see what it's about. So I'll just mop my floors and clean my room. And just, I don't know where Midas went to. I know he's doing a lot better because I gave him gabapentin last night. There's a picture of him right there. That's my baby kitty. And I guess y'all want to watch me mop my room. This would be kind of silly, but that's okay. Why the hell not? My heart just feels so spastic and scattered today. Like I would like something to hold on to and to not really cling to, but yeah, cling to. I want something to embrace and stuff. And that's why I started fasting, because like I know that I was getting down in the dumps, and I don't know what that is. I think something scratched my forehead yesterday. But I've been avoiding alcohol and stuff like that. I was smoking pot because like that's what has always been there for me when I was growing up. Until like I turned Christian, I guess, and then I was like, oh, cool, no more pot, no more nothing, no more sweets. Like I was I'm very hardcore, and I'm trying to find that hardcore urgency and that hardcore alignment where it's like a continuous battle though, and I don't want to fucking battle anymore. I've been doing that for so long. So I'm thinking of just softening up and letting these emotions ride. Because the battle is gonna, if I'm battling, it's gonna be infinite. You know, I get to choose what my battles are, and that's why something's pushing. I'm gonna mop my floors first, and we're gonna see what the hell's gonna happen there. Either way, so I'm gonna mop my floors. I'm gonna tap a little bit to lean into the resistance. I know that everything's always working out for me, even if it doesn't feel like it. And even as uncomfortable as it is, I can just observe, ground myself, and stay centered. It looks like life isn't going anything of what I expected it to be. But why have expectations on my life? You know, there's nothing that I need to be doing as a human being other than greeting every day with the glory and grace of God and Christ or whatever, and just being good, good, just being, fuck being good, fuck being bad, just being, period, following my impulses, which is a scary place to be because this is where my impulses got me. And I feel like I don't know if I'm digging a hole or if I'm, there goes that noise again. It sounds like a helicopter. There's no helicopters though. It sounds like a really, really low flying helicopter at that. I don't know if y'all can hear it or not, but it's kind of fucking with me, to be honest with. I wonder if it's telling me to get out of my apartment. But I don't want to leave Midas here alone with it too, because I don't know what it is. It's okay. I don't know if y'all can hear that noise. I really hope you can, because it has been going on for about a week or two. It wasn't going on at my parents' place, so that's cool. Like, I know that that didn't happen. But it's like a new thing here. I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh, because I stopped taking the Adderall, and I also, like, I was feeling like super duper sickly still, and I hadn't taken any pharmaceuticals such as the, what's it called? I usually take like 30-40 rounds of steroids and antibiotics back to back whenever the weather changes, and seeing as my heater is now broken, that's kind of dangerous for me, because with weather changes I get like I catch pneumonia really easily, since my heart and my spleen exploded at the same time, right? So I'm definitely gonna call my buddy who like oversees all of the apartments in this foundation's community thing, ask him about that. I'm gonna sit with this noise, figure out what the hell it's coming from, because I want to, maybe it's coming from me even. It just sounds like a really low flying helicopter that's fucking with me. I'm gonna get my ass, or I'm gonna mop. I'm gonna get my hair ready to mop. And then after mopping, I'm gonna tap into the resistance of that. I'm not gonna eat till I figure out what the fuck that noise is, where God wants me, and like until I actually feel purposeful. I haven't felt purpose in a long time. Purpose filled, not purposeful. I know I have a purpose, I just don't know what it is still, and it's getting annoying. And like whenever I stopped everything to like figure it out, I still didn't find it. And then there I keep going back to the just being thing. Maybe I'll just be. For whatever reason, this is bringing up a lot of emotions. I cried a lot earlier whenever I was thinking of the pain felt after finding out what my Catholic sponsor, the reason why she wasn't a friend, and I thought that she was the whole time. Like, I mean, I don't use the word love lightly, and I was telling her I loved her every day, and she told me that she wasn't my friend. So I was like, oh shit. All the reason why she stuck around me was to get me to go back to church. And that was kind of when my life more or less blew up. I'm not sure what I told her, but I reached out to her fairly like maybe 3 months ago, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I don't want to see her again because you don't remember what you told me." And I was like, "I really don't. I have head injuries, and if I'm in the heat of a moment of some sort, then like with pain and whatnot, I get head injuries, autism, schizophrenia. Like I get fucking stuck, and I go into tunnel vision. All I felt was that pain. I don't remember what I said, what I did. You think you know what drunk means? Nope. I have no recollection of what I said. All that I remember is just intense pain and deception. I guess it was. I was betrayed. into complete hiding. I ostracized myself. I quit talking to people. And this was about 5 years ago. And then in the middle of ostracizing myself, I um, I got hit by a car. And then I healed myself on my own with herb and stuff. And then the loneliness got to me. So I tried going to the place that had burned me before with an open heart and with to join people again. And then I was told that I was a whore by the Love and Light yoga community. And I honestly hadn't had sex in like 5 years at least. And once I heard that, the guy like even offered me money to leave. And I don't know if I may have like ripped up the bills. I think it was like $60 for me to leave. I think I tore his money apart and threw it in his face because that was deeply offensive as well. And then I went deeper into my own healing. But then the loneliness was like literally driving me insane. So I was like, fuck it, I'll go to a bar. You know, they're in need of somebody. But I also had like a weird, because I was in monk mode whenever I go into like being alone and stuff. If I'm isolated, I like legit should go into monk mode. And then this bar, like they hated me. Nobody told me to leave though. So I was thinking not that I can change them, but that this will be my family and I'll go through pains with them and support them, remind them that they're loved. And they were doing like Santa Maria shit on me. Or Santa Muerte. And I ended up getting sepsis. But like it was just the weirdest thing. Like I was literally covered in lumps. Like I was a leper kind of thing. My hair was falling out. Like all of the like this new hair, you can see the difference in the length of it because that was about maybe 4 years ago. I was even working for him for free. Like I was really digging for a family, and the women were kind of shitting on me. Well, the women workers were shitting on me completely, like because I didn't understand Spanish. I was learning Spanish at the time, but then whenever I was trying to communicate with them in Spanish, they were like calling me retarded and stuff, and saying very hurtful things. And then they were like putting shit in the food that that I paid for and stuff. And, hey DVP. Um, but then after getting sepsis, I stopped for a little bit, and for whatever reason, it's either isolation or like trying to force myself into a place that I don't belong and I don't know. I don't know. It sucks. So because I'm feeling so much resistance to the church right now, I'm gonna go ahead and go there. I'm gonna go without any defenses. I'm pretty much going without any hope because I don't know what to expect or what to say. I just know that I would love to have community, like physical community, because I'm just not really trusting people right now. And I know that people are very trustworthy, and I'm coming out of a long line of maybe not trusting myself as a thing, is what it is. So, especially after that, my neighbor guy was like peeping into my window, like, what the fuck? I say I gotta get out of here, but like, if wherever you go, there you are. Hey, diabetes fix, how you doing? And on the Bible study with the women's group yesterday, we went over Hosea chapter 2, 13, 14, and 15. And I'll just say this because it's open right here. But 13 and says, and I will punish her for the feast of days of the vows, where she burned incense to them, and decked herself with her ring and jewelry, and went after her lovers, and forgot me, says the Lord. That was verse 13. And then verse 14 is, therefore, behold, I will allure her, and bring her into the wilderness, and speak tenderly to her. And there I will give her vineyards, and make the valley of Adachel a door of hope. And there shall answer as in the days of her youth, at the time when she came out of the land of Egypt. Well, anyway, that spoke a lot to me, because like whenever I found Jesus, I guess. I like, oh yeah, he pulled me from. I was living with a man that I had loved. He was my fiance, was the thing. He was fresh out of prison. Is the other thing too. Like these, I'm not an idiot. I was just really, really romantically hopeful. That's what it was. And he kept cheating on me, and he beat the shit out of me. And I was working as a stripper to, like, get him money and pay for his house, the house that he bought a house because he was old enough to buy a house and an apartment. So I used to do that, and then every day it would either be him that picked me up or one of his friends or one of the women he was cheating on me with. And then I would give them the money that I earned. Well, I would give him the money as a thing. And then he would always stay at the other place if I was in one place, because he wanted me to clean the house and the apartment, which I did. And I remember like one time in the house I was looking at this weird picture thing with like a light up dolphin, one of those old school things. And that was whenever I first heard God, and he was telling me like I needed to get out. And I was like, yo, dude, I'm so loyal to a fault. I was stuck. I was scared to move. So I told him, like, I need you to move this for me because I can't myself. Like, I didn't want to go back home because my parents kind of, I hate to say it, they abandoned me. Whenever I showed them that I had feelings, they were like literally 10 years old. I was like, I'm really depressed and suicidal. I just wanted their attention. I needed their love. And like, I'm not saying that it's their fault, because like they did the best that they knew how, and they didn't know how to handle this. Just like the other day, this man that worked at the library, I wanted to approach him again, but I'm so fucking awkward. I didn't. What he did for me though, like I had a 30-pound bag that I was carrying full of water, and he literally comes out of the library on my way to go volunteer for this place. And he takes the big bag and like walked me 2 miles. We were both lost. We were looking for this place that I was volunteering at. And his name is Sebastian. He's a really beautiful man. And I was asking him how to work at the library. He said to just volunteer there. And whenever I was done volunteering, I wanted to go up to him and be like, hey, would you like to hang out? And I don't know why. I don't know how to say that to people. I get stuck and I get scared. I am really fucking awkward, guys. So I called my mom because I was like, hey, I really, really like this guy, but I don't know how to approach him. And I feel like it might be too forward of me to do something like that. If he didn't ask my number, then he's not interested, kind of thing. But he did a very kind thing for me, so I would like to be around that more. But anywho, back to the story of so while I was in the house that I just finished cleaning, he calls me up. He calls me up crying. I think I was 17 or 18. Yeah, I was 17. And I could hear the police breaking down his door. He calls me up and tells me that he's going to be going to prison for the rest of his life. And when this was like 8 hours after I prayed to God, I told God that he needed to get rid of this guy for me because I was paralyzed. I didn't know what to do. I was so fearful. I knew that he would have came after me had I left him, and I didn't want my parents to get hurt at all. So I told God he needed to get rid of this guy for me. 8 hours later, he calls me up and tells me he's going to prison. Well, one thing, my heart was broken because I did love him. I still do. Like, I hope he's doing well. I think he's dead, or either that or still in prison. He was a big time felon that I went to jail for even. I'm a very devoted person. That's what it is. And so that was my first time dealing with God. Whenever I get home, my mom and I were arguing nonstop, and I get back to my parents. I just still didn't feel any love there. I didn't feel welcome there still, because I'm learning them now. Like they're very still people, and they're very calm. And I'm a fire sign, and I've always been fiery, impulsive, and chaotic. But I guess now that I'm getting older, I'm learning that, I didn't need to be that way this whole time. But I mean, I would never do. I wouldn't, and I do it again because I have that kind of love. I have that very fiery and devoted kind of love. Anywho, my neighbors were like, "Yo, we're gonna be going on a mission trip to a different state, basically." And I was like, "Let me go with you," because I was hoping to marry their son. Was a thing like from a long time ago. But I heard that he was like messing around with another neighbor of mine. I was thinking maybe I was too young for him. Anywho, that guy turned out to be like a woman. Like he beat me up before, and I've been around very abusive men. But whenever I went on this mission trip in hopes for something else, in hopes to marry this man, I listened to the preacher who was saying that no matter where you are, no matter what you've done, you are loved. You are always loved. And I couldn't understand it, that somebody had given their son to die for me was a thing. And well, I guess he was speaking of it. I literally felt like all the heroin, all the meth, all the weed and the alcohol just evacuate my body. I don't know how to explain it. I've never had my, I've had my blood boil before, a couple of times, but I've never had my heart set afire before. And like this fire that was in my heart, like literally just purified the entirety of my body from these drugs. It was miraculous. So that was how I met Jesus. I didn't understand anything of it, but all that I knew was I wanted to share this love with everybody that I possibly could. I was on fire and I wanted to burn the world with it. And as a fire sign, that is very dangerous because whenever I go towards something, I zero in on it. Basically, like everything else, fuck everything else. And then as I was going door to door, trying to sell Jesus, I guess, with these other Christians, I noticed that none of them were really listening to people. We were just telling people, you know, you're either going to believe in Jesus, or you're going to live in God, or you're going to go to hell, or you're going to die, and you're going to live there for eternity. And that was mine. I was a zealot, which is cool, I guess. But I feel like I did a lot more harm than I did good. I'd read the entirety of the Bible. I know that my parents did not believe, and they kind of resented me. And then I got in a badass car wreck where I died. And then whenever I came to, my mom was there with me in the hospital bed. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? We had never really gotten along. I didn't think she loved me, and I was very assured that she didn't love me. I was raised only that women are kind of bad, that men are the ones that we wanted to be like. And anyway, I was like, cool, they were here, but what happened? She said that I died. The priest came to meet them in the hospital. I was care flighted to Parkland Hospital where I had extensive injuries and stuff that Christ has pulled me out of. And I was like, what the fuck? I was annoyed that I was still here because I'd always been suicidal. And then whenever my mom was watching the news on the TV, it said with a tiny blur, missionaries killed in Haiti. I was going to be on that mission trip in Haiti. So whenever we saw the tiny blur, my mom and I just like literally made eye contact. I knew it and she knew it. I've been saved twice, I guess. And I know that there's a reason for this existence. I just still don't know what. And I wanted to just be. And that was kind of the onset of how life happened for me. How it turned out was brutal assaults left and right with pistol whippings and stuff with other people. The threat of death, guns to my head. It's a very violent life. I'm just gonna assume because we're violent beings. And all that I know to do is to return violence with love. Maybe that's what I'm here for. So that's kind of all that I did. I remember the last brutal assault that I had. Not the Jesus. The one before I was pistol whipped with a brutal assault. But I remember looking into the guy's eyes and I was like, yo, I know that you're in a lot of pain because you're doing this. And I just wanted you to know that you're still loved even though you're doing this. And just to return home. That's all that we're really meant to do is just return to home, to the light. And the light is not necessarily comfortable. That's what I'm realizing now. The light is actually hella uncomfortable because the light, sometimes it burns, it purifies. That's what it says in the Bible, create within me a pure heart, O God. And this is definitely something that I want to remain with, is a pure heart. And for whatever reason, I keep coming back to the man from the place that I went to, and the guy tried to pay me like $100 to get me to stay, and I ripped the money up and threw it in his face. What happened there, the reason why he wanted me to leave was because I'm thinking it was his brother. There was a man that I was so connected with, but I just met, is a thing. And I'm coming from a long line of tragedies and heartache and traumas with men. And he knew this, but he was like, marry me now. With just learning his name. And I was like, I'm not, no. Because my pattern is, whenever I dove off the deep end, whenever I die, I go for the deep end as a thing. Fuck you. He was promising me all this money, all of this stuff, that I could just relax and actually be. He's like, don't you feel you deserve it? I was like, fuck yeah, I feel like I deserve it. But that's not how life is. In a perfect world, maybe, but yeah, not my life. And if you know you can't wait for me, then I'm not gonna marry you. So I was like, can't we just like, have a second date even? At least marry him then and now and have a perfect life. Or have the worst life I've ever thought of. So here we are. But that's what I love about this, and there I will give her vineyards and make the valley of Achora a door of hope. Because I've been in the valley for a minute now. I consider it more of a wilderness because it's not so low, it's steady. So I feel like being sober might be my valley of Achora. Or I don't know how to. A weird thing, Chor. Achor. I'm tapping in order to figure out my power, in order to find myself, in order to hear Christ with all of this. And I'm doing it alone. And if I'm doing it alone, I'm not here to please anybody, so that's cool. I get to only please God. With a pure heart. For all the turmoil, all the tribulation, which I now gladly accept and willing to make sacrifices in order to maintain a pure heart. So today is a heavy day for me. Like I said, I'm going to be going back to, I guess, the Catholic Church at 5. Not to see if they'll help me, but just to see what they say, I guess. I don't know why I keep feeling pressed to go here. So, I don't know if I can hear that noise, it could just start again. Anyway, much love, one love. Thank y'all for joining me. I'll probably dance or something later or do a yoga deal. So, bye guys.